Hey everybody, welcome back to KastorCorner.com. I'm your host Khalil here for another toy of the day. You can go to KastorCorner.com for a full gallery of these figures. You can also go to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all those places. We're at Kastor's Corner. You can check out the Cornercast podcast every Monday night up on Apple Podcasts. And you can check out our shop and hit the subscribe button. We really appreciate it. So what's going on today? Another late one. Sorry, it's been a long day. The pup's still not home. Thank you all for all the well wishes. Really, really meant a lot for all of you that reached out. As soon as I know more, I will be sharing it. Hopefully he will be cradled here soon enough to do a review with me. As soon as he's home, I promise. But what do we got today? So we have the new Spin Master Bat Tech Crawler Deathstroke versus Batman set. This came to us from Amazon. We found it online. I think we found the link from our friends at Adventures in Collecting. And it is a new box design. Usually wide open, a lot of plastic. This is completely cardboard. And inside as well. Very minimal amounts of plastic. I forgot to put the photo in the gallery. But this will give you kind of an idea of what it looked like. So they were kind of just strapped down with very, very thin plastic ties, holding them in place. And so, they're doing what Transformers has been doing, which is removing the plastic from their packaging. So it's kind of like blind box, but this is very reminiscent of the 80s, which has been great. When companies do stuff like that, I mean, that's why we're buying all this stuff, right? From Ghostbusters to Transformers to G.I. Joe to Marvel and now Batman. So very reminiscent of the old school Superpowers boxes, which is kind of fun. The back of the box shows you everything that's inside of it. You get 2 figures, a vehicle, and a bunch of weapons. Very similar to all their multi-packs that we've seen before. So what do you get in the box? You get this kind of bat techie, gauntlet, kneed up, armored kind of Batman. We've seen versions of this before, and I'd have to pull out the one that came out in the Catwoman wave late last year, but I'm going to guess it's pretty similar if I'm not mistaken. I recognize the knees here. Stand articulation for Spin Master figure, nothing in the torso area, so no turns or pivots for posing. Neck articulation is very limited due to the top part here of the armor. Kind of goes around. Very, very thin fabric cape with a hole in the back to be able to hold things. I honestly feel like I know it's supposed to be the cool feature and what all the kids want to play with. They give us all these kind of, and there's close-ups of all these kind of like gloved up, techie kind of weapons. They're translucent. They still look like ice to me, not tech. I guess they're supposed to be holograms. So you get, things we've seen in the past. We've seen this Batarang in multiple different colors. This is kind of like a backpack, jetpacky kind of thing. We've got a couple of hand-to-hand combat weapons here. I mean, they're not bad. Like, I'm not saying that they're bad things. It's just, if you were to melt down all this plastic, I think we could have gotten another figure out of it. So I would almost rather have 3 figures in the box and no weapons at all than all these techie weapons, because these are just going to end up in a drawer and part it out someday if I ever part with this collection. But it's a little similar to Fortnite, but Fortnite feels like it's a little more built or geared towards the game itself. These are just kind of out of the blue, weird kind of things that just don't know if I really need in my collection. You also get the Bat Tech Crawler, 3-wheel vehicle. Not too bad. It's kind of fun looking here. Reminiscent of some of the other stuff we've seen before. It's got some fins on the side. Does roll. It's got the mini wheels at the bottom down here. big, huge wheel. Very Bat-Pod-esque here. My criticism, though, is there is not enough clearance. So whoever designed the vehicle and decided to put this Batman with it did not understand dimensions, because he does not fit on this vehicle at all. Like, he kind of straddles it, but he can't really sit, and his feet are right up against the tracks. So it's just kind of like very like old school 80s kind of toys. I actually hadn't tried Deathstroke on there. Yeah, so you can see Deathstroke is much better seated on this versus Batman. So the idea that they put a heavily armored figure on a vehicle that just doesn't fit him is a little bit weird, but I don't know. I think the whole line's a little weird. I like it. I'm not complaining too much about it. We are getting some very, very original characters, which has been nice. But I really wish that like some of that stuff, just kind of like the play factor for it. I would think if it really is the goal as play factor for kids, then it should be able to be played with. And stick a different Batman or a different character. Like, it doesn't always have to be Batman. You do get Deathstroke in a more modern-esque costume. It's got the chainmail on the chest, kind of charcoal gray, so no blue, so no classic kind of, very bright orange. They did a really good job with him. I mean, there's supposed to be a single version of him coming out in the next singles wave that has Harley Quinn in it, but we haven't seen it yet, and we're already halfway through September, so I wonder if we are going to get it, or how that's going to work, or if it's just going to flood somewhere else. I mean, we'll see. Maybe it'll end up at Five Below. I don't know. He comes with both of his swords, and yes, on the box, he's labeled Deathstroke, not Slade. Again, Deathstroke, not Slade. So just the fact that they made the choice to put Deathstroke on the box for what is considered a toy for 3+. So if you're 3 and over, you get your own Deathstroke figure. So that's kind of... Companies have shied away from it. Teen Titans, the cartoon, was all about Slade. They never called him Deathstroke. So just the idea that the kids line calls him Deathstroke is I don't know, it's kind of funny. I find it humorous. Overall, if I was rating this set, which I don't usually rate them, I would say I paid $20 for a Slade figure, to be honest with you. It's nice to have the vehicles. They're not horrible. I'll have a nice little Batcave display with them someday. But really, honestly, I really just wanted Deathstroke, and I did not know if that single pack is actually going to make it to market. I have my doubts at this point, being, I don't know. We got 2 waves, and those happened in January and April, and we have not seen any other product from the line since April, early April. So I have my doubts and my concerns, but Spin Master should have the license for another year, I think, and we'll see what they do with it, and hopefully the DC Heroes line continues. You can check out a full gallery of these guys, close-ups of everybody up on, of course, castorscorner.com. You can follow us. We are at Kastor's Corner on all social media. You can check out the Cornercast podcast. And whether you're armored, weird tech Batman or Slade, watch an old video, subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate it. The more you subscribe, the more cool things we get to do, and we get to share them with you. And we like to say that because we like to share that journey with everybody. And I usually end it with saying, see you tomorrow night for another toy of the day here on castorscorner.com. But right now it's, just keep our pup safe and bring home our Jackson. And again, thank you all for the kind words today that have reached out. I really appreciate it. And we're all just waiting for him to come home. So we'll see you tomorrow for another toy of the day here on castorscorner.com. Good night, everybody.